propagandist enough to utilize what moves people most.
I'm propagandist enough to utilize the truth.
And who defines this truth? You or the party? Is your life dedicated to speaking for yourself?
You don't talk about what my life is dedicated to.
Your life? You haven't resolved what your life is dedicated to. You see yourself as an artist and at the same time as a revolutionary, as a lover to your wife, but also as a spokesman for the American
Zenobia,
party.
if you don't think a man can be an individual and be true to the collective, or speak for his own country and the international at the same time, or love his wife and still be faithful to the revolution, you don't have a self to give.
Would you ever be willing to give yourself to this
When you
revolution?
separate a man from what he loves the most, what you do is purge what's unique in him. And when you purge what's unique in him, you purge dissent.
Camaraderie.
And when you purge dissent, you kill the revolution. Revolution is dissent.
Camaraderie.
You don't rewrite what I write. No.
Counter-revolutionaries! Counter-revolutionaries!
We must defeat Donald Trump. Very happy to tell you we will defeat Donald Trump.
The American people understand today that the current healthcare system is not only cruel, it is dysfunctional. Now you tell me how we have a system in which we spend twice as much as do the people of any other country, and yet we got 87 million uninsured, underinsured. In some cases, we pay 10 times more for prescription drugs as do the people of Canada or other countries. 500,000 people go bankrupt because of medically related issues. They come down with cancer, and that's a reason to go bankrupt. Now, some of the people up here think that we should not take on the insurance industry. We should not take on the pharmaceutical industry. But you know what? If you think back to FDR, and if you think back to JFK and Harry Truman and Barack Obama, as a matter of fact, people have been talking about health care for all. Well, you know what? I think now is the time.
I have hereby endorsed Joe Biden for President of the United States.
I'm going to tell you, I am so proud to endorse Joe Biden to be the next president of the United States.
You want a nominee who's going to beat Donald Trump, keep the House of Representatives, win back the United States Senate, join us.
The party has decided, not the establishment, the voters have decided. They're coming out in droves for Joe Biden.
While we are winning the ideological battle, and while we are winning the support of so many young people and working people throughout the country, I have concluded that this battle for the Democratic nomination will not be successful. And so today, I am announcing the suspension of my campaign.
You know, Steve, it is remarkable where we were on the eve of the Nevada caucuses, Bernie Sanders declaring victory in San Antonio, Texas, going on the air ready to pull a huge upset in South Carolina, and here we are today. That is a strange trip when you think back to February 20th, I believe that was.
We've just seen Joe Biden pull off something that in the modern history of Democratic nominating contests, and that goes back a half century to 1972, in the modern history we've never seen. And that is that Joe Biden, he didn't just lose Iowa and then lose New Hampshire and then, for that matter, lose Nevada. He lost them big. He was left in the dust in those states. You can remember New Hampshire. Remember this? Remember the night of the New Hampshire primary? Look, you couldn't even see Joe Biden's name here. You had to go down past. There's Joe Biden in 6th place at 8%. I mean, you've seen candidates who've lost early states like Bill Clinton in 92 and become the Democratic nominee, but they got moral victories in the early states. Clinton could call himself the comeback kid in New Hampshire in 92. There were no moral victories for Joe Biden in those first 3 states, but you said it. It was that moment when Bernie Sanders won Nevada. He won it going away, and it looked like, based on how these things have gone in the past, that there might be a bandwagon effect, that Sanders might grow his support in South Carolina on Super Tuesday and beyond, and kind of run away with the Democratic nomination. And instead, that great moment for Bernie Sanders I think that victory for him in Nevada turned into the worst moment for him as a candidate because it focused the rest of the Democratic Party, the non-Sanders component of the party, on that gut check question. Do we really want to make, they had to ask themselves, Bernie Sanders the nominee? Their answer was no. The signal they got in South Carolina from Jim Clyburn, from the voters in South Carolina, every single county in the state was Biden blue that night. Basically a 30-point win for Joe Biden. The signal the Democratic Party got coming out of South Carolina was, if you don't want Sanders, it's Biden. And that was the answer we got from pretty much every state after that. Biden, Biden, Biden.
I think the biggest lesson is Bernie Sanders was right. There is a Democratic establishment, and it's still strong enough to keep him from getting the nomination. Anyway, Steve Kornacki with that breakdown. Thank you, sir.